Hey YouTube. Researching my LS swap for a Dodge Express truck, I stumbled on Night Wrencher's channel where he uses the passenger side, which we'll refer to from now on as the wide side of the engine mount. So just to explain to you a little bit of what it is Dodge has one mount on the driver's side that's a little bit skinnier, and then the mount on the passenger side, which is a little bit wider. And then I guess by coincidence, Night Wrencher found out that some engine mounts will slip right down in there. But at any rate, the reason why I ended up going with that design was I stumbled on his video. I thought it was going to be the fastest way to make my LS swap engine mounts, and I discovered that the video, he doesn't tell you that in another video he moves this engine cross member and these engine mounts back about 4 inches. So everything lined up nicely for him, and I thought that's what I was up against. However, I found out that's not the truth. So in my research, I found some Hemi LS engine mounts that I wanted to see and get some ideas from, so I went ahead and ordered them. In my research, I discovered that there's 2 mounting hole locations here in the frame, as you can see, and as I referenced in the previous video, I moved the engine mounts back to that second hole location, which gave me a rough distance of about 17 inches from the center of those engine mount studs to where the 727 transmission would have set. You can see back there in the distance is my factory transmission cross member. Sorry guys, I didn't want to get too carried away about the transmission. I also didn't want you to think that I was just going to let the engine support the weight, which obviously everybody knows that wouldn't work. But what I was saying was I'm going to do away with that Dodge one and get a universal racing hot rod type one 4L60. Once I get the transmission in there, I'm just going to run a 4L60 in this truck. Once I get the transmission in there and everything set up how I want it, take some measurements, then I'm going to figure out which universal transmission cross member that I want to order to assemble and build here. It does require a little welding and stuff, but I think it's going to be better than trying to fabricate that and having to deal with that old style Dodge bolt through deal. I'll take you over to the transmission and show you what that looks like. Here we are looking at the original Dodge, what I believe is a 727 transmission. And as you can see here, what I was referencing is this through bolt transmission mount. The interesting thing is it does have 2 bolts, sort of like a 4L60, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to the same spread as a 4L60. But like I was saying, I don't want to have to deal with that weird through bolt and figuring out that cross member, so I'm just going to get a universal racing hot rod, whatever you want to call it, make your own, and make my own cross member for the 4L60. Alright guys, we're back. Now you can see what we've done here. That's the factory wide side Dodge D150 engine mount, and I basically cut an inch off which about took all the taper out of it. We've got our steel plate, which is 1/4 inch steel here, that we've made, measured up, drilled all the holes to fit the LS block. Now that we've got our height and our depth set, I'm going to go ahead and disassemble everything, take it over to the bench and weld it up. Alright guys, we're back. We got the old school Dodge married up to the steel plates that we made to go on the LS. Now we're going to take it all apart, weld them up solid, trim them up, and that's how you do LS mounts in a 79 Dodge D150 truck properly, without having to move your whole cross member 4 inches or redesign the whole truck. Anyways, peace, love, and hair grease. Alright guys, I'm back. This is not the LS engine mount for the 72 to 93 D150. These are the Hemi swap mounts that I referenced earlier that I purchased. I wanted to get some measurements and some ideas off of them. Pretty similar to what I ended up building. I don't want to show you exactly what I built because I may go into production with it, or somebody may beat me to it, or I might be the only nut in the world putting a Dodge motor in a LS besides for the couple of other guys who've already done it. Or maybe there's a market for something like this, but I don't want to get you all excited by my video and not show you what it looks like. I mean, ours isn't completely finished welded, but I mean, honestly guys, it's going to look pretty dang close to this. This is easy enough for you to figure out on your own. You can just take the ideas that I had and the things I've showed you and make your own pretty simply. I would also like to note that the entire reason why I made this video and ended up making my engine mounts like this was because I had to go to the junkyard and pull the passenger side, the wide side engine mount off a Dodge 360 because of the original video that I watched. But I do think that it is pretty funny that the Hemi swap mounts are pretty much the exact same width and pretty much look exactly how what I ended up building looks. Like I said, I don't want to really put all my dimensions and all my stuff out there. I might actually build these things, but like I said, it's super easy. You guys can get it. Anyways, have fun. Happy building.